Kelly with Kellyscards.ca, and this is the third card in the Everyday Card Kit, number 4. I have chosen a much more masculine card for this card, and as you can see, we've got a motorcycle, and I've chosen a couple different sentiments which you can use. You can either use rock on or you rock. You could also make your own happy birthday. There again, this is a very open card that you can use in any way that you need to. So going through the card, I wanted to bring out some white into this card. So what I did was I took some regular cardstock and I just stamped it with this stamp right here. This is the dictionary Stamping Up stamp. But really you can use any papers that have words on it. You could use any stamp that stamps any kind of words on it. Basically, this is just going to be in the backdrop to add a little bit of whiteness to this very dark cardstock. So to start out, we're going to take some black soot, black ink, and I'm just going to get my little dauber ready. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add some black ink. This is just going to add a lot of interest to this card, a little bit of a distressed look. And we're just going to put some of this ink around the edge. It's going to help the mat stand out. Now, if you don't have the distressed ink, any black ink will do, or you can leave it plain. And then we've got that around there. Now for this white mat, I want to also ink it up, but I'm going to try to do it in a lighter fashion. I don't want it as dark as my main mat. I'm just going to turn it here. Just like so. And then the last thing I'm going to ink up is this red mat. And again, I will ink it up fairly heavily. There is two sides. There's stripes, or there's this kind of funky hexagon type thing. Maybe I'll use the stripes. I think I'll use the stripes on this side. You can use either. And again, we're just going to ink it up. Trying to put more on the edges and less on the inside. I like to ink things up this way because you get softer tones onto the edges. And it is actually way less work than trying to swirl it on your mat or your paper. There we go. That looks very shadowy now. So this is going to come in like this, and then we're going to have our motorcycle going off the edge here. And now this little die cut is a really fun die cut. I thought it would be cool in a triangle. We're going to have that up there. And then I also included a star just because there's some stars on the background paper. You can kind of add it wherever you want. We'll take care of that after. But first things first, what we need to do is add this strip first. So I'm just going to flip this over and do the edge really well. Like that. And for placement, again, you can kind of move it around. I kind of like it semi-centered. Like that. And it really doesn't matter which way the writing is going. You can have it any way you want. Just put that down like that. And now that that's like that, we can adhere this piece. So I'm just going to grab my score tape. I'm going to use my small 1/8 of an inch score tape. And this is a really good tip if you really like good tape. And this stuff is the best tape. But you don't want to spend an awful lot of money on the tape. This tape comes in 1/4, 1/2 inch, 1 inch. And I find with cards that this little 1/8, it really holds things down, and it's a little bit less expensive than those thicker tapes. and you still get the good tape for your money. And it's just not as, something like this would be like $6. This little 1/4 inch you'd probably find for $3 or $4, and you still get the same amount of it. So just as a tip, this is excellent, this little 1/8 inch. Now we'll take the backing off. We'll open up the card here. We'll put it down like so, and already look at how great that looks. That inking up the edges really help bringing this dark paper. Just adds a little extra tone because you've got more darkness up here than you do in the main paper. So going in from there, we're going to start moving things around on where we want them. I do want this piece hanging on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some adhesive just on the back here of this triangle very carefully, like that. I'm going to tuck this. I'm going to tuck this like this, and you can just kind of make sure that it is nice and even. If you really don't want it to move around, we can actually tape this down after we figure out where we want it. Before you glue down your image, just wash your hands from the black soot, or else you'll be putting this black ink all over your image and your sentiment. As we're done inking for now, then you won't have to worry about the ink getting all over the rest of the supplies in your kit. Now let's just put our image down. Go around the outside like so, and place that like that. Now we have the image down, and we can start figuring out where we want our items to go. So you have your choice of your two sentiments between the Rock On and the You Rock. I'm going to use the Rock On, and I'm just going to bring my paper cutter in here and just get this size to the size I want, like that. And I'm going to start moving things around to figure out where I want. Now that looks okay like that. I think because there's one thing here, it's good to balance it off in the opposite corner. So that's what I'm going to do. So now I can remove all of this, and I'm going to take this piece, and what I'm going to do, just because it's moving around so much, I'm just going to take a little piece of tape and tape this down so it won't move, just like that. And now I can place this down. And we're going to put this down. Okay, so I brought the image in, and I am definitely popping this one up on pop dots because I think that, especially for this type of an image, you definitely want this one standing out. So I've got the pop dots on there now. I'll probably pop the sentiment up as well. There we go. And I really want to be able to see that, so I'm just going to have this slightly hanging over here. Like that. And I will pop this one up as well. Let's see, so we need the pop dot on the bottom. There we go. Well, again, we want the little bit of red sticking out. That looks good. And now the front is fairly complete. Now we do have this one star, and you can basically put it on the front, or you can put it on the inside. I think I'm going to like it actually on the inside. So on the little mat that I have given everybody for their kit, we're just gonna attach this now. we're going to place this on the inside. And then this little star, what I like to do is I like to just take my runner and put these little pieces on it and then just pull it off because you get the adhesive onto the back. Like so. And then you can just add that somewhere on the inside of your card. Like that. One thing I'd really like to do before finishing this card is taking and just inking the sentiment around the edges. I think that we really need to do this just to help keep the consistency in the card of the inking. So what I've gone back and done is I've pulled it off and I've actually inked around that sentiment, and I'm going to just add it right back where it was, and I think that just helps pull everything back together. Now before finishing this card, if you have a Wink of Stella pen, this is going to help this card just be a little bit more sparkly, is you can use this clear Wink of Stella pen. And what we're going to do is we're just going to rub the pen onto the motorcycle, and it's just going to add a little bit of shimmer. You can do just the chrome parts or you can do the entire image, and I think I'm going to just do the entire image because I think this is going to help it just stand out just a little bit more. And again, it's not too glittery, it's just like a little bit of shine. So now that we've done that, it's probably going to be very hard to see on film. There you can kind of see a little bit of the glitter, but it just adds a little bit something to this card. So I hope you enjoyed this card. Again, this is card number 3 in this 6-card kit series. There's 3 more cards to go, and I hope you'll tune in for those. If you miss cards 1 and 2, please check those out as well. And I thank you so much for joining me, and have a wonderful day.